Hello, welcome to Module 2. It's entitled The Accounting Equation. The three components we talked about, namely assets, liabilities, and equity, are linked by an equation. This is the most famous equation in accounting, and believe it or not, you've seen it before in Module 1. The equation is assets equals liabilities plus equity. Does that ring a bell? This can be written in several ways. Equity equals assets minus liabilities. We're just playing around, but you would see different versions of the accounting equation. Another way of writing it is liabilities equals assets less equity. All three are really the same. They're just different ways of writing the accounting equation. Now, let me give you some history. If we go back into history, accounting as we know it today was actually started by a person called Luca Pacioli around 1492. Pacioli was a mathematician and a contemporary of Leonardo da Vinci. He came up with the concept of what is popularly referred to as, you heard this before, the double whammy. It means every business transaction has a double impact on a company. This is the heart and core of accounting. You really have to get to know this double whammy concept very well. So let me gradually get you comfortable with this concept. Let's work some problems together. Assume you started business by obtaining a loan of $500,000. How would this affect the accounting equation? Write this down on a sheet of paper before progressing. What is the accounting equation? Assets equals liabilities plus equity. Now, I'm sure you know this equation really well. Stop this recording now and show the impact of this transaction on the accounting equation. I'll give you a couple of minutes to try it. Are you done? Assets went up because you got cash of $500,000. But at the same time, liabilities increased because you owe $500,000 to the bank. So basically, assets increased by $500,000, as you can see. Liabilities increase by $500,000. Put that in the equation, and there you have it, right in front of you. Are you getting comfortable with this? Try the next one. Suppose a company obtained $50,000 in cash from revenues. how is the accounting equation impacted? Let me put the present situation from the previous transaction. There you go. Stop now and write down your answers and then restart this presentation. Are you done? Okay. Cash goes up 50,000. Cash is an asset. So assets increase by 50,000. Liabilities are not affected. Revenue goes up 50,000. But that increases equity. So equity goes up 50,000. So the equation now looks like this. Assets up 50,000. Liabilities not impacted. Equity up 50,000. So what's the final balance? Assets are now 550. Liabilities are 500. Equity is 50. You have to remember that the way it works is that it always balances. That's the beauty of the system set up by Pacioli in 1492. Try the next one. Suppose the company's management paid out 40,000 in salaries. How does this affect the accounting equation? Let me put the present situation up. There you go. This is from the previous transaction. This is how it stands. Stop the presentation now. Write down your answer. When you're done, start again. Okay. Cash goes down 40,000 because you paid money. Expenses go up 40,000. If expenses goes up, is that good for equity or bad for equity? It's bad. So it has a negative impact. So here goes. Assets go down 40. Cash is an asset. You paid $40,000. So assets go down 40. Equity goes down 40. And that's it. So what's the final balance? Assets are now 510. Liabilities are unchanged at 500. Equity is now down to 10,000. Now let's try the next one. Suppose the company management purchased 60,000 worth of machinery out of cash. Now complete the accounting equation. Stop this recording now, try it, then check your answer. If you get it right, that means you're starting to really understand accounting. Are you done? Cash goes down 60,000. Cash is an asset. Machinery goes up 60,000. Machinery is also an asset. So now one asset goes down, another asset goes up. So it looks like this. Here's the original. Here's the transaction. Cash is an asset minus 60. Machinery is an asset plus 60. Nothing else is impacted. So basically, the accounting equation, even though you had this transaction, is unchanged and looks like this. Are you getting comfortable? Let's keep going. I hope you are enjoying this. Transaction 5. Suppose management purchased a fleet of cars for $150,000, paying $30,000 in cash, and getting a loan for the remainder. What does the accounting equation look like? Stop this presentation now, and when you are done, you can restart. Let me put the present situation up. This is what it looks like as of now. So stop now, enter this transaction, and when you are done, restart. So where do we stand? Cash goes down 30 because you paid money. Motor vehicles, which is an asset, goes up 150. You bought $150,000 worth of motor vehicles. Liabilities goes up 120 because you owe $120,000 to a bank. Put that in the equation and it looks like this. One asset, motor vehicle, go up 150,000. Another asset, cash, goes down 30. Liabilities go up 120,000 because you owe 120,000 to a bank. Equity is not touched, so the final balance looks like this. Assets at 630, liability is 620, equity is 10. The accounting equation still balances. Let's try the next one. Suppose management made sales and had $100,000 in cash from revenues. How is the accounting equation affected? Here's the balance as it stands now. Include this transaction and tell me what you got. Stop the presentation while you're doing it. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Are you done? Cash goes up 100,000. That's an asset. So assets increased by 100. The company also had revenues, so revenue goes up by 100. Revenue is good for equity. Revenue increases equity. So equity goes up 100,000. So the final transaction looks like this. Assets go up 100 because cash is an asset. You had 100,000 of revenue. So revenue has a positive impact on equity. So equity goes up 100. So the final balance is, there you go. Assets 730 equals liabilities, which are 620, plus equity at 110. Are you getting comfortable with this? Let's try the next one. Suppose management made sales on account for $40,000. How is the accounting equation affected? Let's put the balance in as it stands. There you go. Now, take your time and try this transaction. Once again, stop the recording till you're done. Then turn it on and check your answer. Are you done? The company had sales, so revenue goes up 40. Therefore, equity increases by 40,000. But sales are on account, so no cash is received. However, now we have customers who owe the company money. These customers are called accounts receivable. Accounts receivable increases by $40,000. Accounts receivable, as we previously discussed, are assets. So assets increase 40,000. liabilities are not impacted, and equity increases 40,000. There you go. Was that clear? So the final accounting equation is, there you go, assets 770, liabilities 620, equity 50, and it still balances. Are you getting more comfortable with this? Let's try the next one. Suppose management paid rent expense for 20,000 and advertising expense 30,000, both in cash. $20,000 for rent in cash, $30,000 for advertising in cash. How is the accounting equation affected? Let me put the balance as it stands now. There you go. Stop this recording and try this transaction. Start again when you're done. Are you done? How does it look? Expenses increased by 50,000. 20,000 for rent, 30,000 for advertising. So you have $50,000 in expenses. Is expenses good for equity or bad for equity? It's bad. So equity goes down by $50,000. Cash was paid, so assets go down $50,000. Here you go. Liabilities are not affected. So the net result now is assets 720, liabilities 620, equity 100,000, and the accounting equation still holds true. Are you getting more comfortable? Let's try the next one. Suppose management incurred utility expenses of 5,000. They received the service and the bill, but assume they haven't paid it. How is the accounting equation affected? I'm deliberately making this more tricky. Let me put the balance as it stands now. Take your time. Stop this presentation now, have a crack, and start again when you're done. Are you done? Let's discuss it. The company had a utility expense for $5,000. What does expense do to equity? Is it good for equity or bad? It's bad. So equity goes down 5,000. Remember, no cash has been paid. So assets are not impacted. But you owe money to a supplier. You call the supplier accounts payable. So accounts payable has increased by 5,000. Accounts payable is a liability. So liabilities increased by 5,000. Assets are not touched. So here is how it looks. Liabilities increase 5,000. Equity decreases 5,000. So the final balance looks like that. Assets 720, liabilities 625, equity 95,000. This was a tricky one, so if you got it wrong, don't worry. Let's try the next one. Suppose management got cash obtaining a short-term loan for $5,000. How is the accounting equation impacted? Let me put the balance as it stands now. Stop this recording and try this transaction. When you're done, restart. Are you done? Hopefully now it's getting easier for you. You got cash, so cash goes up $5,000. Cash is an asset, so assets go up by $5,000. But they owe money, so a liability goes up $5,000. So the impact on the accounting equation is that assets go up $5,000 and liabilities go up $5,000. Here it is. Equity is not impacted. So the final total is assets 725 equals liabilities 630 plus equity 95. We're almost there, so bear with me. Let's try the next one. The owner of a business invests $200,000 cash in the business. How is the accounting equation affected? Let me put the balance as it stands now. If you remember from Module 1, when an owner puts money in the business, it's called capital. Okay, I've given you a hint. Stop this recording now. Try this transaction. When you're done, start again. Okay. How did you do? From the business point of view, the business got $200,000 in cash. So cash goes up. So assets go up $200,000. Capital, as we discussed in the prior module, is part of equity. So equity goes up $200,000. So the accounting equation is, there you go, assets plus 200, equity plus 200. So the final balance now are assets 925 equals liabilities 630 plus equity 295. Only a little way to go. We're almost there. Let's try the next transaction. The owner decides to withdraw $35,000 cash from the business for personal expenses. Keyword personal. How is the accounting equation affected? Let me put the current situation as it stands now. Stop this recording, take your time, enter this transaction, and then restart when you're done. Are you done? Okay. From the business point of view, they paid out $35,000 cash. Just remember, every transaction, think of it from the point of view of the business. Business lost, or there was an outflow of $35,000 cash. Cash is an asset, so assets should go down 35. When an owner withdraws money for personal use, it's not an expense. It's called drawings. When an owner withdraws money for personal use, it's called drawings. Where does it come out of? Equity. So equity goes down 35. So the final transaction is, there you go, assets minus 35, equity minus 35. And the final balance is, there you go, assets 890 equals liabilities 630 plus equity 260. The final question before we complete this module, take your time, stop this recording, and think about this question. What is the net worth of the business? Let me repeat. What's the net worth of the business? Take your time, do it, and then restart once you're done. Are you done? Net worth is assets less liabilities. What was the assets? 890. What were the liabilities? 630. So what's the net worth? Assets minus liabilities. Here we go. Net worth equals assets minus liabilities. We just said assets are 890, liabilities are 630, so the net worth is 260. So now you know how to enter transactions, and I think you're getting comfortable with the double whammy concept. We're now done with the second module.